Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library, the Guiding Ohio Online Grant. This week we are taking a look at a password manager called Bitwarden. Bitwarden is what is referred to as a freemium open source password management service, meaning it is free with some parts being at a cost. So that's when you look at premium or freemium, that is what that means. So what a password manager does is it stores your information in what is referred to as an encrypted vault in terms of to make access very much more secure for you. With Bitwarden, it's available. It's a web interface. There's a desktop app, a browser extension. There's actually there's mobile apps, and then there's even the command line interface. When you are using a password manager of any kind, you're going to need to then create what is called your master password. So we're going to go first to actually Bitwarden's website. If you go there, you would then you'll see up at the top here where I have the ability for personal or business. If we're looking at personal, that's where we would obviously be going to create anything that would be for ourselves or a family member or a family group. And then, so I'm going to just simply go here to log in. I can go to this location, and when it's asking me to log in here, here is also the option to create an account. So if I go to create an account, here's where I would put my email address in and then a master password. Make note, it must be 12-character minimum, and this is something that you cannot recover if you happen to forget it. Also, you will need to make sure and want to have this checked where it says check known data breaches. So in other words, whatever I put in here as the master password, it's going to go out on the web and check and make sure that that password hasn't been breached somewhere else. Again, I would highly recommend do not use your password here that you also use anywhere else. The recommendation anymore is to use what is referred to as passphrases. If you use a passphrase, it would be something that would be memorable so you don't have to write it down. And you can put special characters in it. But say, for example, like the green dog ate cookies. In other words, it's not something that's realistic, but yet it's something that, you know what, I can remember that. I'm sure we all have things from when we were younger of ways maybe we remembered to spell something and you have a phrase. So that's how they recommend anymore, is that you use phrases. And most or many of the sites anymore do allow spaces. So you can determine, if I do a passphrase, do I space it out like I would if I am writing a sentence, or do I just put it all together, as one lump word per se. So this is where you're going to go then. We would create our account. I obviously already have an account made. I'm going to go back here to the beginning page that we were at for Bitwarden, because here is where there also is, you can see where the pricing is. So I'll bring that up. It automatically always jumps over to business. We'll go to personal. Here is what you receive for free. Like I said, everything I'm showing is the free access. You can go less than $100 per month. The whole way they advertise, you can do families as well. And then the other thing I want to make sure you take a look at is it downloads, because this is where you can find, okay, here my desktop application for Windows, for Macs, for Linux, and my extensions. We are going to do everything based off of desktop and the extension today, so that I got mobile applications and even the command line. So I'm going to go here then to my actual. Actually, it's been too long a time. It locked me out. we're going to look at the settings there, and I can show you that. So I need to put my password in here. I'm going to put that in and unlock. So this is what from the actual web interface it looks like. It will come up to vaults. This is things I already have in, and we're going to take a look at tools. If I look at tools, I've got here in terms of generating, what would you like to generate, a password, and so forth. This is where you can change the length, you can change the minimum numbers, you can have the minimum special characters as well in. So I wanted you to make sure where you can see this at. I'm going to go back here to vaults one more time, because here is where I want to make sure that we take a look at what is the settings, because once we start off here, that's the very first thing we want to take a look at. So I am going to go to my account settings, which would be right here underneath where my name is located. I go to account settings. The first thing that's going to come up is my account. I'm going to jump over here to security. Security is where you can put in a master password. This stuff we've already created. Don't need to change or mess with that yet today. If you ever wanted to change it, that's where you would do. But I want you to go to two-step login. With two-step login, with having the freemium account, we can still do an authenticator app, such as Google Authenticator and such. And this is what I would recommend that you do. And when it comes to keys, I'm probably not going to mess with. You're probably not going to ever look at anything in there. The other page we want to look at is preferences, because with preferences, the biggest thing here is it defaults automatically to a 15-minute timeout. I would kind of recommend that maybe you make it less than that. 5 minutes is probably normally enough, because obviously you want this to be very secure. And if by chance you get a phone call, get called away, I think you probably want to have this set to a smaller amount, because you really want to be present when you're working in your vault. So that's what you're going to see from the web page. What I want to do today is I'm going to show you how to add. If you noticed with my vaults, I already had this in. Just backtrack one little bit here. You're always going to see this Go Premium. When you first make an account, the very first time you ever make an account, you're going to see up here to begin with where it asks you to authenticate and back to your email. So you're going to get that one time. And then from then on out, you're always going to see this Go Premium, which you can obviously just work around and ignore. So then I want you to see how I went about adding this, my account to Chewy.com. So if I go up here, notice I have added the extension. I can add, and that's how I would recommend. It seems to work easier if you have an actual the extension added in, and when you want to add things, it makes it a lot quicker. But I want you to notice here, it says add a login. There's no logins. But even though I have Chewy, and here's the reason for that. Let's just add, before I fix anything with the Chewy, let's just do add a login. So if I wanted to add a login, right now I am on the Bitwarden page. So it wants to add the vault for Bitwarden. So you want to make sure you're at a page that you're going to want to add something. So I'm going to click here, make a new tab, and I'm going to go to my PCL.org, which is the library site. From the library site, I can have an account, so I might go to my account here. And this would be the login information to go to the library. So I'm going to say, I want to add this. So if I am going to do that, I'm going to go up here to my Bitwarden now. I'm going to go to add a login. And now notice what comes up. It's the email It's the not the email. It's the web address for where I'm located in terms of the page I'm on. So here's where I would put in my username, my password, and add that, which I had already done. And then I do have the option down here to add folders. So this is what I did to add in my chewy.com site, which anyone who has any type of pets, it's a website to order pet supplies. So I've got a new site I want to add. I would put in my username and my password information here. And then after I do that, I would hit save. What I want to do is I want to go back to my page here where it says add a login, because I want to go to, I want you to see the difference. If I'm at chewy.com, I have that site pulled up, and notice now what changed here. I have this 1 here because I'm physically at the location where I have something saved in my Bitwarden. So now when I go here, my chewy.com automatically comes up. Now if I click on that, it's going to tell me that it's unable to autofill. Here is what I can do to make things easier for me and work quicker, is I can go to my settings. If I go to my settings, what I can do here is where the autofill is the very top one, I can say when the autofill, the shortcut here, autofill on page loaded. Now, if I do that, notice what happens. I have this check mark here. So look what has happened. It automatically, when I went to chewy.com, it automatically logged me in. It's already got my name there, already has me logged in. So now I've got that so that when I go to the page, it's automatically logged in. So I would want to do the same thing with my Putnam. Want to make sure that I go into my settings and have that set to autofill. The other thing that I can do is I can add, if I go to I'm going to go out of my settings here for a minute. Or no, I want to go up here under autofill is my folders. This is where I could add a folder. So I could put maybe if I wanted, say for example, anything where I purchase items. Let's just say purchase items. So anywhere where I always go to purchase items, I could hit save, and then I could add my Chewy to that folder. So then what I would do is have Chewy in my purchase items. So if I say if I used Amazon or Wayfair or any of those things, and I could always just put anything that has to do with items I go out and purchase into that folder. So that is a pretty simplistic example of how you can go about using Bitwarden, a great place to be able to put some passwords and save that information for you. I hope everyone has a fantastic week.